Hello and welcome. I'm Blair Blackwell, and this is the Daily Cyber Brief. Here's today's rundown of the biggest cybersecurity stories you need to know today. Good morning. This is the Daily Cyber Brief for February 24th. Today's landscape centers on AI-accelerated perimeter compromises edging toward ransomware, state-backed phishing and malware in Europe and the Middle East, and a real-world spike in ATM jackpotting, plus a notable voice phishing breach. Following on from yesterday's coverage of the FortiGate intrusions, there's a new wrinkle. Investigators now say the Russian-speaking actor who leaned on generative AI targeted firewall credentials and backup files, positioning for possible follow-on ransomware. The takeaway isn't a novel exploit, it's scale and speed. Routine misconfigurations turned into a high-volume campaign across 55 countries in roughly 5 weeks. Turning to incidents, ad tech firm Optimizely confirmed a data breach after a voice phishing, or vishing, attack let threat actors compromise some internal systems and access customer information. It's another reminder that social engineering plus help desk workflows can bypass strong authentication, then pivot to data exposure. And on the consumer side, researchers found multiple Android mental health apps with millions of installs shipping security flaws that could leak sensitive medical details, underscoring mobile app security debt and risky cloud API patterns. On the threat actor front, researchers attribute a European campaign to APT28, with Operation Macromaze using classic document macros and webhook-based delivery to target specific entities across Western and Central Europe. It leans on legitimate cloud and developer services to blend in, keeping tooling simple and delivery reliable. Meanwhile, Iran-linked Muddy Water is back with fresh strains and loaders seen across the Middle East and North Africa, expanding its malware families as regional tensions rise. In the financial infrastructure world, ATM jackpotting surged last year, costing banks more than $20 million as criminals reused decade-old tooling to force cash-out events. Old playbooks still work against poorly segmented or outdated devices. And in the software supply chain, a cluster of malicious NPM packages is actively harvesting cryptocurrency keys, continuous integration secrets, and API tokens. A worm-like campaign that turns developer machines and build systems into credential farms. Looking ahead, expect continued probing of edge firewalls for credential theft and backup grabs, ongoing spear phishing with macro-lure documents, and opportunistic abuse of legitimate webhooks and cloud services to mask command and control. Watch for takedowns and indicators tied to NPM package names and maintainers, and for App Store cleanups around the mental health apps noted by researchers. For today, you should be watching firewall appliances and VPN gateways, help desk and identity workflows vulnerable to social engineering, and email and document channels where macros still land. Keep an eye on developer ecosystems, NPM, CI/CD runners, and cloud-hosted registries, along with ATM and payment infrastructure, and mobile apps handling health data and cloud APIs. Data breach, ransomware staging, and supply chain compromise are the primary risk paths. The thread through it all, familiar techniques, accelerated, which means disciplined hygiene at the edges and in the build pipeline matters more than ever. That's it for today's edition of the Daily Cyber Brief. Thanks for listening. I'm Blair Blackwell. This podcast is for informational purposes only and is not cybersecurity, legal, or financial advice.